Hello guys, I hope you are well. Today is a day with mixed emotions because I am saying goodbye to my much loved BMW M140. I've had this for almost 3 years and I've not really put much online about it. It's been my private car really. I did say I was going to feature it a lot on my YouTube and my Instagram, but I never did. So before I give this car away, because I'm exchanging it for my new car, I'm literally about to go and collect my new car, I wanted to show you what I've done to it. And again, just like I did with my Z4 video a few years ago, this is very much for my own private memory because I bloody love this car. I thought this was great. This is one of the best cars, if not the best car I have ever owned. And I've done some cosmetic changes. I haven't touched the engine. I very much wanted to keep that stock. But let's start with the inside because there's some changes. And those changes are, let me sit down, the trim. So I really didn't like the trim that this car came with as stock. It was this horrible silver plasticky trim. It looked really cheap. BMW, I do not know what you were thinking putting that on this car, but yeah, I had to change it. It was the first thing I did. So after a couple of weeks of ownership, I was actually contacted by a friend of mine who is a YouTuber who very famously owns an M140. He reached out to me and said, Brad, do you want to take the trim off mine? So I did. So this trim, the center console, around the gear stick here as well, we've got carbon fibre. It's this exposed sort of basket weave. It's really, really nice, but I get it. It's Marmite. You either like it or you don't, but it's my car and I love it. I think it looks great, and it's completely transformed the interior of the car away from that horrible cheap plastic that they put in. Other than that, I have not touched anything on the interior. It doesn't have Apple CarPlay. I was really tempted to get that coded in, but I just never got around to doing it. So I've kind of been dealing or just making do with using the BMW iDrive, which is actually very decent. It's just not Apple CarPlay, which I prefer. And then on the exterior, I have done some cosmetic changes. So like I said, I've deliberately not touched the engine. From a mechanical standpoint, I left it stock. Did that deliberately. I really was conscious about the resale of this car, and I didn't want to make that process difficult. Or cast any doubt to the next owners of this car. You know, if I'm buying a car that's been tweaked and remapped, then I'm obviously going to be thinking, well, have they just been ragging this around? Which I have not with this car. It's only done 19,000 miles. I got this car with 11,000 miles on it. So in 3 years, do the math, I've not really driven this car much at all. And I kind of regret it. It became a bit of a game, to be honest, because the less I drove it, the more I kind of wanted to preserve the mileage. And it was a bit of a running joke with my friends, you know, that I wasn't driving it and it was just collecting dust. That's why it looks quite dirty today, by the way. It's just been sat in my driveway collecting dust for literally weeks. So anyway, enough of that. Let's talk about what I've done to this car. So look, this is my favourite angle, by the way. And when you own a car, after 3 years, I still park this car up and look over my shoulder. And that's when you know you've got a car you really like. After 3 years, still doing that, it still puts a smile on my face. So Maxton body kit. So this, again, stock came with this horrible, really flimsy rear bumper, which just didn't look good. So that came off. Pardon me, that came off, and I did a lot of research and I went with Maxton. So this is the Maxton diffuser, and then up here we've got the Maxton spoiler as well. It's a very subtle spoiler, but I like that. I didn't want it to be too garish and in your face, even though these exhaust tips are. I totally get it. It's very boy racer. Ironically, that is not what I am about. This car has been driven very carefully, and I've just looked after it, even though it's dirty. So that's the rear. And then coming to the side here, I've just put some M Sport mirror caps on the car as well. Again, some people are going to shoot me in the comments for putting those on because this is not an M car, this is an M Lite, but that's exactly what I did. My car, so what I wanted to do. hello, somebody's just parking next to us, they want to be in the video. So yeah, what else have I done? Oh, on the front we've also put, obviously keeping that theme of Maxton, we've also put a Maxton splitter on the front as well here. Very, very subtle, but it just really gives it that little bit more of an aggressive shape from the front as well. So really it's the small details. And then again, talking of small details, just put some little things on the valve caps as well, just to complete it. But yeah, that's my M140 after 3 years of ownership. Where's my head at? Well, obviously my head now is with my next car. I can't wait to show you what I've got. I can't believe I'm actually getting into one of these cars. I did think it was going to be a little bit outside of my budget, but I've made it work. The numbers work, so I'm going to collect it. But like I said, very bittersweet because I have loved this car. If you're in the market, oh yeah, I did this as well. I'm actually not a fan of this. I blacked out the BMW badge. I actually was planning on fully dechroming it. I've actually got the rim for it as well, but I just not had time to stick it on. But yeah, I'm not actually a fan of that, but I did it and then I instantly regretted it. So yeah, where's my head at? Yeah, very much looking forward to getting my new car, but this car's great. And if you're in the market for an M140, don't hang about. If you see one that you like, I know they're like hotcakes at the moment. I've had so many people reach out over the last few years asking, and this car having so low miles on it, a lot of people have reached out and said, are you interested in selling it? And I've just kept hold of it. But the time is right now. I do need to move on. I want to experience something with more power, even though this is great. Also, another reason why I didn't tinker with the engine is this car's powerful enough. It's got a straight 6 turbocharged 3 litre in it, 400, no sorry, not quite 400, it's 360 horsepower, 500 newton meters of torque. It can do 4 to 62 miles an hour in just 4.8 seconds. So there's plenty. Those numbers are so good for what is essentially a 1 Series. And the reason why I really like this as well is it's a sleeper. It's not too garish, it's not in your face, it doesn't scream, you know, I'm a fast car. But if you know your cars, you know that this car is totally capable and in many instances will outperform some of your base Porsches as well. So this is certainly a car that it's got the performance, it's just a sleeper and very unsuspecting, which I love. So that is my M140. I'm going to leave it here. I think I've done this in pretty much one take. Yeah, and I had to put this video out there because it's a memory for me. So if nobody watches this video, then that's fine by me. I said that about my Z4 video and it ended up having 50,000 views. So who knows how many people will watch this video. But for me personally, in years to come, I can watch this back and go, yeah, I remember that car, that was great. So thanks for watching and stay tuned because I will be sharing with you very soon what my next car is. If you think you know what it might be, write in the comments. I'll give you a clue. A lot of M140 owners tend to get into this car after M140 ownership. Yeah, I'll leave it at that because I don't want to give it away. And if you think you know what I might have got, then let me know in the comments. Thanks guys for watching and I will see you, and I'll see you. Well, actually no, I won't be seeing you. This is goodbye. This is probably the last time I'm actually going to walk around this car because I am now off to part exchange my car. It's actually quite sad. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers guys, bye.